Are you tired of getting burned and having your lab catch on fire?
Ow, I burned myself.
Well, after today, you don't need to suffer anymore. I'm gonna help you with lab safety.
Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, Holly. First and foremost, you have to be responsible when you're in the laboratory. That means no horsing around. It's prohibited. You have to listen to your instructor. If you're ever confused, ask them your question. Food, drinks, and gum are not allowed in the laboratory. Keep the area neat and clean to avoid any hazards. That also means you have to keep your aisles clear. Chemical waste will be disposed by your instructor. Make sure your instructor is aware of any medical conditions like allergies or pregnancy. Now, let's get back to Holly real quick.
Ouch, oh my god, that hurt.
What happened?
I was wearing sandals.
Remember to wear proper shoes when you're in the laboratory. That means no sandals or open-toed shoes.
Oh, I should have thought of that.
Clothing in the laboratory is very important. A lab apron will be provided to you by your instructor. Tie your hair back if you have long hair. Don't wear long jewelry and avoid baggy clothing.
Okay.
If any accidents or injuries are caused in the laboratory, notify your instructor immediately. When handling chemicals, remember not to touch, taste, or smell any chemicals unless your instructor asks you to. Use a rubber bulb or pipette pump to fill a pipette, not mouth suction. Always check the label on a chemical bottle before using any of its contents. Unused chemicals should never be returned to their original containers.
So, are all chemicals dangerous?
All chemicals in the lab are to be considered dangerous. That means you must point containers away from yourself and others. Don't hold or dispense flammable liquids near an open fire or a heat source.
Okay, got it. So, acids?
Well, acids have to be handled with extreme care. Be careful when you transport acids around the laboratory. That goes for other chemicals too. Your instructor will show you how to properly dilute strong acids.
So I'm guessing chemicals and other materials shouldn't be taken outside the lab.
Yeah, that's right. Can you tell me anything about handling glassware and equipment?
Well, I know you're not supposed to handle broken glass with your bare hands, and I also know you're supposed to check for chips and cracks before handling glassware.
Remember, rubber stoppers and glassware can be dangerous, so make sure the tube is always lubricated. And also, only fill water bottles with distilled water.
Is that just for rinsing, or does that also include adding water to it?
Both.
Okay, that makes sense, but I have a question. If I have really hot glassware, it's okay to put it in cold water, right?
No, it actually might cause the glass to shatter.
Okay, I'll remember that. Is that all for glassware?
That's almost it, but remember, you always have to carry glassware in a vertical position.
Oh, right.
Now, onto equipment.
Equipment in here is so tricky. It freaks me out. The other day, a cord got frayed.
Did you notify your instructor?
No.
If you ever find any damage to electrical equipment, you have to report it immediately. Go do that now.
Okay.
A few moments later.
I told my chemistry teacher.
Good. You shouldn't ever use any damaged equipment. Now, what else do you remember about electrical equipment?
I know when you take the plug out of a socket, you have to grasp the plug, not the cord. Oh, and your hands should be dry when you're handling electrical equipment.
Yeah, that's right. If there's any piece of equipment that you don't know how to use, remember to ask your instructor. Now, let's move on to heating substances.
Oh, I learned about that. I know you're never supposed to look in a container that's being heated. No. When you bend hot glass, you're supposed to let it cool. Hot glass and cold glass look exactly the same.
That's right. To see if a glass is still hot, bring the back of your hand near it to see if it still feels warm. But don't grab it until you're sure.
I know that heated metals stay hot for a really long time, so you should let it cool and use heat protective gloves or tongs.
Yep. Just be careful around the gas burner. Don't put any substances in it unless your instructor tells you to. And never reach over an exposed flame.
Makes sense.
You will be taught how to heat and boil liquids properly. Similar to what I said earlier, don't point the open end of a test tube at yourself or anyone else.
Okay, well, thanks. Well, I gotta go to class, so.
Bye, Holly. Remember, don't forget anything I taught you because it's kind of important and I don't really want you to get hurt in the lab like you did earlier today, okay?
Okay.
I can't do this anymore. Okay.
Ow, I burned myself!
Sorry, my finger was in front of the lens. Do one.
Lube.
Stop.
Pick them up.
Let your bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies
Hit the floor. That noise!
Shh, Casey, shh. Shh, Casey, shh. Casey, I'm
It's not
almost
like you
done.
can hear it.
Yes, you can. I'm almost done. Casey.
You can hear it, doesn't it?
When Holly says something right.
For once.
At yourself or anyone else.
No, it's fine.
Oh my god!
No, it's fine.
Oh my god!
One more.
Oh my god!
One more. Just one more.
Where? You recording?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I like hurt myself.